Welcome to our presentation on the main factors to consider when building a professional pilot farm. In this module, we'll cover how to choose the ideal site for piloting, discuss the necessary farm layout and requirements, and identify the optimal pilot scale. We'll also go over budgeting the pilot farm, understanding costs, and provide an example cost structure. Finally, we'll explore how to effectively scale to medium-sized modular production. Let's get started. When selecting an ideal site for your pilot farm, there are several important factors to consider. It is important to consider the location of the farm so that it is suitable for insect farming. The farming will cause some odors depending on the quantity of the production and type of substrate. So please be aware not to have farm near residential houses. You should have as much as flat surface as possible, which makes it easier to move around the biowaste and trays filled with larvae and biowaste. In this case, you can even use manual pallet movers without the need of pallet truck. The closer you are for the substrate, i.e. biowaste, sources the best, so please make sure you are not moving the biowaste unnecessarily far. Make sure the site is easily accessible by truck or van to facilitate transportation and logistics. Additionally, check that there is available electricity and water infrastructure to support your farm's needs. Finally, ensure the location is secure to prevent theft and interference, which can be detrimental to your operations. By keeping these factors in mind, you'll set a strong foundation for your pilot farm's success. When considering the land for your pilot farm, it's important to choose an area that is preferably as flat as possible. You'll need a minimum of 100 square meters, but an optimal size would be around 200 square meters to allow for growth and flexibility. For the warehouse, aim for a minimum of 40 square meters, with 60 square meters being the optimal size for small piloting and small operation. This should at least include a covered area, especially in warmer countries, to protect your materials and operations. In terms of climate control, a small insulated room or container is necessary for rearing. You can opt for a hybrid solution that accommodates all stages of production in one unit, or choose separate units for breeding and nursing, depending on your specific needs. By carefully planning your land and facilities, you'll create an efficient environment for your pilot farm. When it comes to pre- and post-processing in your pilot farm, several key components are essential. First, you'll need a system for biowaste crushing and mixing, which ensures that your substrates are properly prepared for optimal larvae growth. After harvesting, separating the larvae and frass is crucial, and drying can also be done. This process helps maintain the quality of both products and prepares them for storage. Having a dedicated storage area is vital. This space should accommodate the bagging and storage of both frass and larvae, allowing you to manage inventory efficiently and ensure easy access when needed. By implementing effective pre- and post-processing steps, you'll enhance the overall efficiency and productivity of your pilot farm. Here is an example of a pilot-scale farm setup that is suitable for professional piloting and getting started. It allows you to produce live larvae and frass at a 1 to 3 ton level and pilot sell them live and whole-dried to customers. It is crucial to find a balance of the cost structure of the first farm so that it is optimal for the purpose and available resources. Consider renting the land and warehouse and other utilities as much as possible. It is good to have at least 2 people running the farm, but even you can do it alone if you optimize work phases correctly. In most cases, proper insulation is the most expensive part of setting up your module. It's a good idea to request multiple quotes and explore different insulation options to begin with. You can always upgrade to more power-efficient solutions as you scale up production, allowing for cost flexibility in the early stages. Start with small-level equipment that can be even discarded when scaling the production. This way you can start fast and risk-free without committing to costly equipment and long deliveries. In the food industry, there are typically a variety of plastic trays available that can be adapted and modified for BSF growing. These trays are often a cost-effective option, as they are durable and easy to source, making them a practical solution for your farm setup. You can begin by using manual sieves for separating larvae and frass, which is a cost-effective option. Alternatively, You can look for used equipment from other industries that can be modified to fit your needs, saving on costs while still improving efficiency. Here is a concrete examples of costs based on Mana's experience on tens of cases. You can source and build professional farm with climatized production spaces at a level of $15,000, but in some cases even more cost efficiently if you can find used equipment and materials or use already existing structures. Try to always source locally and used, and don't buy equipment that has a lot of extra capacity if that means higher price. Time and cost is your biggest enemies at the beginning. In the beginning, there's no need to invest in expensive pre- and post-processing equipment. You can start with basic tools and processes, and easily add more advanced equipment later as your production scales up. This approach helps keep initial costs low while allowing room for growth. Here's an example cost structure for an insulated farming module. All the necessary components can be purchased within this price range or lower. However, some equipment might be difficult to find locally and may need to be imported, which can increase costs. As you scale up production, importing equipment and components in larger quantities will significantly reduce the cost per climate module. In this example, we are using either EPS or PIR sandwich panels and a used shipping container. There are cheaper alternatives available, but these options require more skills and knowledge to set up properly. The breeding cages are constructed from wood and follow Mana insect-specific design, incorporating special breeding lights. These lights are automatically controlled by the Mana Mind system, ensuring optimal conditions for breeding without manual adjustments. Pre- and post-processing equipment can be bought at high hundreds or low thousands of dollars. For example, you can first buy a $100 air fryer to start learning and selling batches of whole-dried larvae. Then you can buy 2 or even 5 similar equipment to scale production initially, and you have only investment up to $500. We highly recommend to buy high-quality scales, but even those should not cost more than $100 to $200. And remember to log all metrics to Mana Farming app. The biggest challenge facing insect farmers is premature scaling and trying to immediately solve the production capacity requirements. The modular approach solves most of the challenges by allowing to start small and, like Lego pieces, increase capacity not just for climatized modules, but also for pre- and post-processing. So, for example, instead of buying initially one large and costly crusher for $10,000, consider buying a $1,000 crusher and then buy similar crushers more. This allows you to always have maximum capacity with minimal investments, but also robustness as a crusher can malfunction easily. Example plan for medium production of up to 120 metric tons of waste management per month. The size of the farming module can be designed to meet daily requirements, within certain limitations. The growing cycle can vary slightly depending on the substrate and recipe used. However, Mana Insect and its numerous customers have successfully achieved growth in various locations within 8 days or less after nursing, yielding consistent reference outputs. This adaptability highlights the effectiveness of the system across different environments and substrates. Waste management and processing will require separate storage tanks and mixing capacity to ensure efficient handling and preparation of substrates. One efficient crusher and vibrating sieve will suffice for daily operations within a single farming module. Additional post-processing equipment and automation can be tailored based on labor availability and budget considerations. The extra material includes additional budget and cost calculation examples for larger production capacities starting from 100 tons per month. Please review it at your own pace. You are now ready to move on to the next module.